Good morning. Last class we started Indian Standard Soil Classification System and is denoted as Indian Standard Soil Classification System, and this Indian Standard Soil Classification System is based on IS 1498 1970. Here soils are classified based on grain size. Again, based on grain size we can classify soil as a coarse grained soil and fine grained soil. Then fine grained soils can be further classified into based on physical properties and particle size. Let us first classify soil based on grain size. The range of particle size encountered in practice varies from particles greater than 300 millimeter to particles smaller than 0.002 millimeter. In practice, we also come across particle size smaller than 0.001 millimeter, and those type of particles are called as colloidal particle or suspended particles. Based on this grain size, IS specifies to classify the soils like this. It is broadly classified into three categories, namely very coarse soils, fine soils. Of course, there is one more item, it is below this, it is called as organic soil and other miscellaneous soils. And we come across that type of organic and miscellaneous soil rarely. Very coarse soils are grouped into two categories, namely boulder size and cobalt size. Here the particle size greater than 300 millimeter are called as cobalt size, means almost the size of the particle. We are not partial to, civil engineers are not partial to particles, particularly soil engineers. Even we consider the particle size of the 300 millimeter means 30 centimeter, almost 1 feet. Particles are also soil because basically this soil is derived from rocks. Next, cobalt size ranging between 80 millimeter to 300 millimeter. Then coarse soils are further classified into gravel, and it is the group symbol is G, sand, group symbol is S. Gravel can further classified into coarse and fine. Particle ranges between 20 millimeter and 80 millimeter, it is called as coarse gravel. If it ranges between 4.75 millimeter and 20 millimeter, it is called as fine gravel. Sand, the wide range of sand particles, it is ranging between 4.75 millimeter to 0.425 millimeter. It is 4.75 millimeter to 75 micron. Here the particle ranging between 2 millimeter to 4.75 millimeter is grouped as coarse sand. Particle ranging between 0.425 millimeter to 2 millimeters grouped as medium sand. Then particle ranging between 0.075 millimeter to 0.425 millimeters grouped as fine sand. Next, particles smaller than 75 microns already grouped as a fine grained soil. Again, these fine grained soils or fine soils are grouped into two categories, namely silt and clay. The particles ranging between 0.002 millimeter to 0.075 millimeter is termed as silt, and it is designated as M. And particle smaller than 0.002 millimeter, it is grouped as clay, and it is designated as C. Likewise, we can classify the soil based on particle size. Again, soils are also classified based on the size, that is coarse grained soil, fine grained soil, and the highly organic and other miscellaneous soil. Next, coarse grained soil. As per IS 1498-1970, if more than 50% of the soil material fraction is greater than 0.075 millimeter ISC, more than 50% is greater than 0.075 millimeter ISC, it is called as coarse grained soil. And this coarse grained soils again further classified into gravel and sand. If more than 50% of this coarse grained soil is greater than 4.75 millimeter ISC, then the soil is said to be gravel. If more than 50% of this coarse grained soil is smaller than 4.75 millimeter ISC, it is called as sand. It is very simple. In a soil material, if more than 50% of fraction is greater than 0.075 millimeter, it is called as coarse grained soil. For coarse grained soils can further be classified into gravel and sand. In this coarse grained soil, based on this percentage, we already classified soil as coarse grained soil. Again, in this coarse grained soil, if more than 50% is greater than 4.75 millimeter ISC, it is called as gravel. And suppose if more than 50% of this coarse grained soil is less than 4.75 millimeter ISC, it is called as sand. Of course, this gravel and sand can be further grouped into like this: coarse gravel, fine gravel, and this coarse sand, medium sand, and fine sand. Next, fine grained soils. As we already discussed that fine grained soils, in the beginning already we grouped that soil based on particle size. Particle size smaller than 75 micron are called as fine grained soil. Again there is a physical constraint to have the sieve size smaller than 75 micron, means almost the particles are at the micro level. So fine grained soils are micro particle level soils. Here to classify this soil, but classify the soil further, we require the physical property soils along with the particle size distribution or particle sizes. Here more than 50% of the soil fraction in a given soil, if more than 50% of the soil fraction by weight is less than 75 micron, it is called as fine grained soil. Further, fine grained soils can be grouped into silt and clay. If more than 50% of this fine soil is greater than 75 micron ISC, more than 50% of this fine soil is greater than 0.002 millimeter, then it is called as silty soil. If more than 50% of this fine soil is smaller than 0.002 millimeter, then it is called as clay soil. This is based on particle size. Further, these fine grained soils can also be classified based on the chart. It's called as a plasticity chart. It is proposed by L. Casagrande. Casagrande is a renowned scientist, soil scientist who contributed enormously for the development of soil mechanics and who proposed the chart. Hence the name is called as plasticity chart. Basically, he intended to classify the soil based on plasticity characteristics, and also these plasticity characteristics are those which possess plastic nature. Plastic nature means adhesive properties of a particle. These consistency limits or Atterberg limits can also be called as plasticity characteristics of soil. Hence, he has named this chart as plasticity chart. According to this L. Casagrande, we can prepare a plasticity chart to classify this fine grained soil further along with this particle size. Here we consider liquid limit along with plasticity index. By considering a liquid limit along abscissa and the plasticity index along ordinate, one can easily prepare this chart. Along axis Y it is a liquid limit, WL in percentage, and along ordinate it is plasticity index, IP, again that is in percentage. Here on the plasticity chart, the line inclined line is known as A line. This is called as A line, and it is also called as plasticity index line, that is equal to 0.73 into WL minus 20. So this line govern the equation. IP is equal to 0.73 times of WL minus 20. Here as per IS classifications, the chart is divided into, you can see here six sectors. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the first one is the sector can be named as CL, and the second sector is named as CI, and the fourth one is CH, and below this A line this can be designated as MH or OH. So here it is MI or OI. Similarly, so this sector can be designated as ML or OL, and there is two lines here we can mark. So this can be marked as Cl or Ml. So suppose if soil comes here, it is called as a boundary classification sector. So this is called as plasticity chart. Plasticity chart can be used as a basis to further refine the classification of fine grained soil along with this particle size. Based on particle size, to begin with, we can name the soil as silt or clay. Further, it can be classified in a refined manner. Here above this A line, soils are considered as a clay soil, and below this A line, soils are considered as a silty soil. Here Cl, Ca, Ch, Cl represents a clay of low plasticity. Ca represents clay of medium plasticity, Ch represents clay of high plasticity. Similarly, Mh represents silt of high plasticity, silt of low plasticity Mi, and this Ml represents silt of low plasticity, it is intermediate medium plasticity. Similarly, here OH represents organic soil of high plasticity, organic soil of medium plasticity, organic soil of low plasticity. Suppose if the soil comes some area, and that can be called as classified as the border classification representing Cl Ml, means it coming under 50-50% like that. Cl or Ml means clay with low plasticity or silt with low plasticity. Like this, we can classify soil, fine grained soil based on the plasticity chart. Soil can be grouped, or it is graded based on gradation. Gradation means we already discussed, it is well graded soil, a poorly graded soil, a uniform graded soil, like that. Using this group symbol and gradation symbol, further soils can be classified as, or it can be graded like this. Suppose if this symbol represents GM, GW represents G stands for gravel, W stands for well graded. It can be grouped as, or we can be classified as well graded gravel. If it is represented by GP, it is called as poorly graded gravel. This can also be represented by GS. So, it is called as sandy gravel. Or GM. So, M stands for silt and G stands for gravel. It is silty gravel. And GC, it is clay E gravel. You can see in a soil, if all the particles are of different size, then it is called as well graded gravel. In that gravel itself, if the gravel represents all size of the particle, that range, we have range of the particle for gravel, it is it ranges between 4.75 to 80 millimeter. So, particle portion of the particles, are the entire particle range is divided uniformly, or it represents all the sizes ranging between 4.75 to 75 millimeter to 80 millimeter, that is called as well graded gravel. If it is not in the proportionate manner, it is called as poorly graded gravel. If there is considerable amount of sand, then it is called as sandy gravel, and if there is silt, there is called as a silty gravel. Likewise, it is clayey gravel. In the same way, we can classify soil and grade. It is SW. S stands for sand, W stands for well graded sand. Well graded sand. Then SP means poorly graded sand. You can realize this, it is S. M means silty sand or sandy silt, depends upon the proportionate. Next it is SC, it is clayey sand. If it comes to the fine grained soil, so these group symbols can be used for coarse grained soil, that is for gravel and sand. Similarly, we can use the symbols for silt and clay. It is ML, MI, then MH. Here ML represents silt of low plasticity, MI represents silt of medium plasticity, and MH represents silt of high plasticity. Also, this OL, OI and OH can be represented by organic soil, of low plasticity, organic soil of medium plasticity, and organic soil of high plasticity. So likewise, based on this plasticity chart, we can be classified to the finer extent. Here we make use both particle size along with these physical properties of soil or consistency limits of soil. The last classification is under IS is highly organic soil and other miscellaneous soil. Highly organic soils means that is if a soil possesses a considerable amount of organic matter such as this the roots or the almost decayed branches, trunks, grass, etc. like that. In case of miscellaneous soils, there it is we may come across a peat, and sometimes it is this the animal bones and all. These are the soil coming under the organic soil, and organic soils can be directly classified based on their the color and their the feelings. If you touch the organic soil, it is almost you can say soft or smooth, soapy in appearance, and even that smell of the organic soil is also somewhat different from the other regular soil. So based on this, we can classify the soil as organic and other miscellaneous soil. Likewise, we can classify soil based on the particle size. Again, based on particle size, we can classify the soil as a coarse grained soil and fine grained soil. And fine grained soils can be further classified based on this plasticity chart proposed by L. Casagrande. Sometimes in general from your end it is expected to explain the IS classification system. If it is for IS classification system, you have to write roughly this the plasticity chart and explain all those things. It is first is based on the particle size, we group the soil into very coarse and fine soil, and we have to mention all those sizes. Then coarse grained soils are classified based on the percentage of particle above 4.75 millimeters ISC or below 4.75 millimeters sieve. Again, fine grained soils can be classified based on particle size. First, it is particle fractions smaller than 75 micron, and again particle sizes greater than 2 micron, something like that. Fine grained soils again can be classified based on this plasticity chart. Finally, that organic and miscellaneous soil like this in general. In particular, if at all, if it is expected from your end, the plasticity chart, we have to write this plasticity chart as it is. And I have to mention like this: plasticity chart is the chart proposed by L. Casagrande, and it is the basis to classify fine grained soil to a finer extent. Here, along with particle size of the particle, we use the plasticity characteristics. Means consistency limits or Atterberg limits can also be called as plasticity characteristics. We use these plasticity characteristics to classify the soil more appropriately like this. Here, along with classifying soil, if the soil is in combination with the materials means it is a group, it can be like this. Along with group symbol and soil symbol, we can use like this. So all these things you have to write when it is expected to explain the plasticity chart. For both the cases, plasticity chart is important. Also, to solve numerical problem, to classify the soil, it is required to draw this plasticity chart. You can easily remember, you can see here, it is A line start from 20 and it end along this 160 ordinate intersection point. So like as it is, you can mark and solve the problem. Again, problems related to this consistency limits and classifications will be given to you. If there is any difficulty in solving problems, so you can we will discuss at a later stage. Problems are very easy. It requires again to classify soil to possible extent. You need the idea about this grain size analysis, this consistency limits. Then you can classify the soil. So with this classification, it is almost it is we are at the end of the first module as per the content wise. So we already come across so many concepts here along with these different headings. All these concepts are very important in order to proceed further and to understand the further modules in a better way. So let us quickly recall what are all the topics we come across in this first module, and it is very much helpful, I think so, for all of us to proceed further. In the first class, we introduced the soil mechanics and geotechnical engineering, and also we discussed about the the history of development of soil mechanics, quoting that it is soil was originated by the terms called Latin word is solum, means construction material. The term soil was pronounced first by Carl Tazzaghi in 1925. There onwards, we rightly call this Carl Tazzaghi as a father of soil mechanics. Next, we discussed the formation of soil. Formation of soil take place by the disintegration of rocks, and again the soils are based on the modes of formation. It is mechanically disintegrated rock or chemically disintegrated rock. Further, it is classified as residual soil and transported soil. Based on modes of transportation, we have grouped the soil in different ways. It is alluvial soil, aeolian soil, colluvial soil, leucostrine soil, marine soil, like that. After this formation of soil, we discussed the field of soil mechanics. Again, here there is no civil engineering field without the soil mechanics, because there is no structure without foundation and there is no foundation without soil. There is a interrelation between soil to the structure, and between structure, actual structure, and soil there is the foundation. So, soil, foundation, and the structure. So, then after this field of soil mechanics, we also discussed the type of soil which we encountered in practice to the Indian context. The most commonly using names for the soils are, it is alluvial soil, black cotton soil, desert soil, marine soil, lateritic soil, and so on. After this, we discussed how to group soil. Based on particle size, before taking up the various terminologies for better understandings. So, tentatively we fixed there the range of particles for various soils. There itself we grouped the soil particles above 75 micron as coarse grained soil, soil particles below 75 micron as fine grained soil. The coarse grained soils are further grouped as gravel and sand. Particles ranging between 80 millimeter to 4.75 millimeter is called as gravelly soil, and particles ranging between 4.75 millimeter to 75 micron was named as the sand, and particles smaller than 75 micron are named as silt and clay. So, in general, as a whole, we broadly grouped the soil as a coarse grained soil and fine grained soil based on particle size. Above 75 micron coarse grained soil, below 75 micron fine grained soil. For convenience, we also grouped the soil as cohesionless soil and cohesive soil. Cohesionless means coarse grained soils are also called as cohesionless soil, and fine grained soils are also called as cohesive soils. So, with this basic introduction, we entered the actual the portion. There, to begin with, we have discussed the phase diagram. That is a graphical representation of diagrammatic representation of the different phases of soil. To begin with, we have represented the soil phase in three systems. Then we have arrived at the various terminologies based on volume and weight basis. The discussed terminologies are, it is void ratio, and it is defined as VV by Vs, volume of voids by volume of solids. Then it is porosity, N is equal to VV divided by V, volume of voids to total volume. Next it is the degree of saturation. SR it is denoted as, it is volume of water by volume of voids. Next it is percentage air voids. Air voids, and it is designated as NA, that is equal to VA by V, and also we discussed air content, discussed and derived air content AC is equal to VA by VV. So these 5 terminologies are designated as volume relations. Along with these volume relations, we also discussed the weight relations, and they are water content, and it was denoted as W. W is equal to WW divided by WS, weight of water by weight of soil solids. Then unit weight of soil, it is weight by volume. So unit weights are further written as based on the state of soil, means state means what is there in the voids. It was designated as bulk unit weight gamma B, then dry unit weight gamma D, next it is gamma saturated unit weight, lastly it is gamma dash submerged unit weight. We also discussed the specific gravity. Specific gravity is equal to gamma S divided by gamma W. This can also be designated as WS divided by VS into gamma W. So these are all the terminologies we evolved from the phase diagram. Of course, except this G, specific gravity, we defined independently. By using these terminologies and phase diagram, we developed the functional relationships. The functional relationship we established are, to begin with, we established a relationship between the void ratio and porosity. E is equal to N divided by 1 minus N. Then relationship between porosity and void ratio, N is equal to E divided by 1 plus E. Next it is the relationship between water content, specific gravity, degree of saturation and void ratio. Next it is relationship for bulk unit weight or total unit weight, gamma B is equal to G plus E divided by 1 plus E into gamma B is equal to W by V to begin with. Next it is gamma B can also be obtained by using 1 plus W divided by 1 plus E into G gamma W. Next it is gamma B can also be obtained by using relation G plus SR into E divided by 1 plus E into gamma W if there is a considerable amount of water is there in the soil. Next we established the relationship for dry unit weight, gamma D is equal to G divided by 1 plus E into gamma W. Next gamma D can also be obtained by using the relation called as gamma B divided by 1 plus W. Also we established relationship gamma D, another is one, it is 1 minus Na into G gamma W divided by 1 plus W into G. So these are all the functional relationship we established, and by using these functional relationships, of course we have not mentioned here gamma saturated is equal to G plus E divided by 1 plus E into gamma W. By using these functional relationships we worked out some of the numerical problems and I have left out some numerical problems to you to work out. After this fundamental terminologies, definitions and these functional relationships, we enter to the index properties of soil. We discussed there it is what is index property and what are all the index properties. We have mentioned 8 index properties, namely the color, shape, grain specific gravity, moisture content, then field density, relative density, then particle size distribution, lastly it is consistencies of soil. There are 8 index properties. We discussed all those in detail. First we discussed this color and the shape of the particle, as color can be easily identified based on mere observation. The same way we can also identify the soil, the shape of the soil based on the mere observation and their the size of the particle, shape and size of the particles. And we concentrated on how to determine the specific gravity. Third index property, we discussed in detail how to determine specific gravity based on pycnometer method and density bottle method. So here again numerical problems are there both in case of pycnometer method and density bottle method in the provided the course material. You can go through it. If there is any problem you can discuss with us. Next it is after specific gravity, it is water content. Water content we discussed how to calculate, how to determine water content in the laboratory or in the field under the 5 headings. So the most commonly using method to determine water content for all practical purpose, it is oven drying method, and for all the cases water content W can be determined by using the fundamental definition, namely it is W is equal to W2 minus W3 divided by W3 minus W1 multiplied by 100, that is weight of water by weight of soil solids. It can be expressed as percentage, and also we discussed it is a very important index property. After water content we have taken the field density. Again field density it can be obtained by using 2 methods, namely a core cutter method and sand replacement method. We discussed in detail how to determine field density by using core cutter method and sand replacement method and their importance and usability. Next we have moved to the relative density. Importance of relative density, for what soil we use this relative density to express the denseness or looseness of the soil we discussed. And relative density of the soil can be obtained by using the relation, namely ID is equal to E maximum minus E divided by E maximum minus E minimum, and it can be expressed as percentage like that we discussed. Of course, there are numerical problems here also. It is one problem you have taken and you can solve the problems in the same way. After relative density we have taken for discussion this particle size distribution. Or grain size distribution. There we discussed the sieve analysis and hydrometrical analysis in detail, how to conduct this sieve analysis and hydrometrical analysis and how to obtain the percentage finer and diameter particle like that. There also you will come across different numerical problems you can work out. After particle size distribution we had discussed consistency of soil. Consistency, what is consistency and what is the consistency limit and who invented this consistency limits that we discussed. Now to determine these consistency limits also dealt in detail, and the related consistency indices were also discussed. Then we also discussed the activity of clay. What is activity of clay along with their the importance for which soil it is applicable, like that. So then we discussed the field identification of soil. The importance of field identification, various methods of field identification soil in general. In particular, field identification is purely almost applicable to fine grained soils. So what are all the field tests to be carried out or to be conducted to identify the soil in the field, where we have discussed in detail. The lastly, we discussed in detail the IS classification of system, IS classification of soil, means Indian Standard Soil Classification System. Here along with IS classification system, we will introduce the plasticity chart. It is integral part of IS classification in detail. So like this, we have touched all the components in the syllabus. Along with, we extended our discussions to the extent what we civil engineer expected to know. In almost all the cases, we may expect numerical problems. You can easily solve. Sufficient number of numerical problems are provided along with the course material. If there is any problem in solving these numerical problems, you can directly interact with us, or we'll discuss in detail if at all, if we meet offline in future. Hopefully we'll meet for offline classes. With this, I'd like to conclude this first module. Before proceeding to second module, the way and in which I explained you from beginning to end, you also are expected to go through it from beginning to end of your attended classes, recall the memorize and go through the provided material and come prepared so that we can proceed further in an easy manner. Okay, thank you.